chain is still intact. Ooh, I see some metal. There's a piece of metal right there. See that? If something came apart, there's a piece of metal. And it put a little indentation right on the cylinder right there. I mean the head. Could have been a valve guide. Looked like to me the valve is stuck open. Piston got some little marks on it, but piston got some little marks on it, but it's not bad. You didn't chew it up. I don't know what the silver looks like, but most definitely something, that piece of metal, wherever it went, oh, I don't know what that little piece of metal is. Well, let's take the cam out. You should be able to take this little cap off. I gotta make some room. Metal came from somewhere. Should we take this cap off, or should we take the side cap off? Guess we might as well take that off. And that one there, I'm probably gonna have to do a little grind on there, a little force. Salvage the gasket, which gasket set ain't very expensive, but we can salvage it. Salvage some of it anyway. That ripped. It's got a little arrow on there, that's got to face the front of the motor for some reason. And now we inside of the valve train. It looks like this valve here is stuck open. Because there's no, the cam is basically turning. I don't know if you can see that. So these are stuck, and this valve here is stuck open. See how it's stuck open? It's bent. It's got a bent valve. It's actually bent. You can see it. See how it's not lined up with the hole? If I hold it to the side, it's almost touching the side of the surface of the combustion right here. That valve is bent. It's not even closed. If I put light in there, so that is the intake valve. You see that? See the light going through there? Watch when I cut it off. So the intake valve is bent. I knew it had to be something. So either something went through the motor. He said his kids was messing with it. I don't know if they dropped something in there. But let's pull this cam out. Wherever that metal came from, we ain't salvaging no gaskets, I can tell you that now. So we'll have to knock, well, you can't knock the cam through. Well, yeah, you can. You have to get something to knock that cam out. Probably a socket. Come out. No. It's pressed on those bearings. And to get the rockers out, I don't know how you would get the rocker shafts out. Oh, that's pressed in there. They made this thing where you can't even work on it. Might have to stick a screw in there to pull the rockers out. Something, stick it right through the rocker shaft, because they're on a little shaft. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the bottom end, as long as it didn't go down through that cylinder, which it came through the intake. Let me see, can I get these rocker arms out with something? Probably a there we go. Now you want to keep up with the rockers because they go to your intake and your exhaust. This is the intake. Let me get some needle nose pliers. That's the intake. Take the screw, stick it in there. Keep up with the rocker arm shaft. Oh, there's the cam. There's the cam shaft. Don't look bad at all. Just gotta remember which way to go. Alright, so now we're down at the valves. I don't know where that piece of metal came from. You know, it could have been a piece of casting or something that came through the motor. But yeah, that valve's definitely bent. So let me see if I can press this valve keeper down. Get that valve out. I got a valve spring compressor, but it's a little bit too big. Sometimes you can take a socket and smack them, and they'll hop up out of there. There we go. Lay it right on top of the valve. Flat washer. Kind of smack it with a socket. Was it a piece of the spring that broke? That's the valve spring. Here's our valve. It's definitely bent. So that piece of metal, I don't know if you can see how bent it is. That piece of metal came through, got wedged in between the valve and the head, and it bent the valve. And by holding that open just a little bit, it causes us not to have any compression. So it needs a valve. I think the valve seal is alright. We might need to relap it a little bit. It didn't really, it's got a little spot in it. I can probably relap that. But it needs a valve, a gasket set. We'll have to tear, well, we should be alright. The chain didn't fall all the way in there. We could rotate it and see what the cylinder looks like, just for fun. But I'm going to get all this stuff cleaned up. I like to run that piston down just a little bit, just to see what the cylinder look like. But I believe the cylinder okay. But this little piece of metal, like I said, that could have been a piece of casting or something that came through it. But it definitely bent the valve. When it's sitting straight up, you can see it. So let me get some something to put all these parts in, and we'll check that cylinder. But as you can see, it's definitely bent. Alright, let me find some boxes. Alright, so I rolled the piston down, and that cylinder is perfect. I don't see a scar in there. It looks really smooth. So that had to come through the intake, maybe from the carburetor or something. Something came apart and it went up through the head and bent that valve. So I'm going to try and resource a valve for it. So I'm up here at the scooter store looking for a head. I think I found one. It's got good valves in it. I don't know whether to get the whole head or just get the valve out of the head. But they got plenty of heads laying around. All of them look the same. I forgot to bring it. But you can tell the difference in the valves, because that one's got a more bigger valve and that one's got a smaller valve. So this is probably a 80 or something, and this is probably a 125. Looking at the size of the valve, I left the head at home on the table where I would have brought it, but they got plenty enough parts. People just come up here and just get what they need. So I don't know whether to buy the whole head, depending on what they want for it, or just buy the valve out of it. We could just use the head. I wish I would have brought the head with me. There's a motor here. At least the head's already off. Look at the oil leaking out of that one. That says 120 cm, so that'll be a 125. Is that JB Weld? Looking at the head, about the same size. I would say this is a 125 head, looking at the valves. There's engine parts everywhere. So depending on what they want for the head, we'll buy the head. And if it's too high for the head, we will get the valve. There's another one here. See, that's got the small valves. That's probably like an 80 or 75. At least they keep a junkyard up here where you can buy all kind of parts. Because it's going to take you to get these China brand ones going. Wish I could find a back rack for the back of that thing because it's broke. So maybe we can put the whole head on there. Well, it might, something fell out of it. It might smoke though. We'll probably just take the valve out of it. Be better. Because we don't know how many hours or miles is on this head. Here's one here. That's probably an 80. Looking at how small the head looks. But if you live in Memphis and you got some China brand, I hate saying China brand, aftermarket brand, four-wheelers, scooters, dirt bikes, come to the scooter store. Scooters Plus on summer. They sell them. They got all these parts. There's a back rack. Ain't too much worried about the back rack. But here's a head right here. Somebody's took the tappets out. That's a clean looking head, but that's an 80. I can tell 75 or 80. There's heads everywhere. That looks like that one's got a decompression thing on it. Look like we're gonna stick with what we got. I hate I didn't bring the other one with me. But I got a picture, well, I think I got a picture of it in my phone. So, I don't see a back rack. Plenty of pipes. Put that on the, put one of these pipes on the Moto 4. Find a silencer for it. That would have been a cool one there, but somebody butchered it. Cut the whole back out of it. So, I'm going to go with what I got. Because I don't see a back rack. There's probably a back rack in here somewhere. It's just hard to find and all this stuff. Anyway, I ain't gonna worry about the back rack. I'll probably take it off. It's good to have it on in case your kid flips backwards though, but I don't have any small kids, so got some motors here. There's one there. So anyway, I'm going to get off here. Right there. That's got the big valves. No, those small valves. I'm going to get off here and see what they want for this thing. And get off here and see what they want for this head. And order valves. And a bunch of carburetors. I found this one here. Small valve. Alright folks, well I'm going to get off here and go see what they want for this thing. And we'll holler at y'all later. So I got the head, he gave it to me for $15, which is well worth the price. He was trying to tell me it was broke right here, but that's just how the port's made, where the muffler go, where the pipe goes in. Well, it looks like somebody, yeah, I think I see what he's talking about. It's got a bolt broke off, but we just need the valve out of it anyway. But 15 bucks is a pretty good deal, so we'll get this back to the shop, get the valve out of it, get it in the other head, and get this thing running. So back here at the place to be, and I screwed up, folks. So this head actually has the big valves, and this head's got the small valves. So it's got a bigger intake valve, and this one's got the small intake valve. So I thought this was a 125 head. It must be maybe a 200, I guess, but you can tell by looking at the combustion chamber here on the head. That one's smaller, this one's bigger. So what I'm gonna do, you can probably see it better now, I wasn't focused. So what I'm going to do, I think the exhaust valve is the same diameter as, well, this would be the exhaust valve. The exhaust valve on this head, which is the wrong head, is the same diameter, it looks like. So I'm thinking I can use the exhaust valve for our intake valve. You think that will work? If it's the same, if the stem is the same length, we can probably use the exhaust valve on the intake. Relap it and be good to go. Now I could have probably used this head on the bottom end, but I don't have a gasket. The gasket's different, and I don't think that cam, well, I think you can put the timing gear and everything, but yeah, it's got that. Somebody tried to drill out that stud where the hole is for the exhaust, and they went all the way through, screwed it up. So that's probably somebody tried to tear it down and messed that up, or they broke the bolt off or something, I don't know. But anyway, let's remove this camshaft from this head. Let's take this exhaust valve out. I mean, it's like a 30-minute drive from my house to there, and 30-minute drive back, and plus traffic has picked up because I went early this morning. So it'll probably take me at least probably an hour and a half to do this, because I can just run up there, grab another head. I'm pretty sure he ain't gonna take this one back, because I think all cash sales are final. So I'll be stuck with a head that I don't need, unless we can use it for something else. But instead of doing that, I am going to pull this cam out of here. That cam don't look bad. And I am going to take the intake valve out. I mean exhaust valve out, and let's see if it's the same valve. If it is, we'll use it. If it ain't, I think I might can straighten this. If I put it in the head and smack it one good time, we might can get it back straight. If that don't work, then it looks like I'm going back up there. Which they're open to 6 o'clock today, which is Saturday. So another 15 bucks. Another $10 in gas. Alright. Hopefully we can use this valve. I wouldn't have never guessed. But I didn't take the old head with me. I left it here by accident. Look at that. It's the same. It's the same thing. Same valve there. Stem's the same. Yeah. It's the same valve. So we can use the exhaust valve for an intake valve. Let's stick it in the other head. We'll just grind it out. Because it's got like a little... Look at there. So we can use the exhaust valve out of that head for the intake valve on this head. I'll get some lapping compound and we'll fix that one. Relap the valve. And yeah, that one's too big to go in there. So anyway, that'll work. As long as it's got a valve. Huh. So we'll put all these pieces to the side over here. And I gotta get the cam back out of this head. And the rockers. I asked him about some gaskets and he said they would have to order them. So we can probably just make some gaskets. I got some gasket paper. Or some high temp silicone. Main concern is the head gasket. But I believe I can probably make a gasket for the valve cover. So we'll pull. Let's see, that was the intake side, wasn't it? Do we have to pull the cam out? I don't think I'm gonna be able to use a drill to relap that valve because it sits so far down in there. I don't have one of those suction cup things you put on the, you put it on the face of the valve. See, it's got like a little, it's a little drag right there. Usually you can stick a drill on them and put your lapping compound on the back side of the valve. You use the drill motor to spin the valve, and that will sand the valve seat to get the valve where it's flush and it seats. But I can't get a drill in there, and like I said, I don't have a suction cup. I would really like to, it's got like a little, let me see what I can dig up. I might be able to find something we can hook. You could use a hose. I have seen people use like a piece of fuel line to put on the valve stem and then hook it on the drill. As long as you get this valve spinning fast enough with the lapping compound to get that valve seated. So let me see what I can dig up. Alright, so I found something I can use. I actually had this extra, it actually holds a tap for your tap and die set, and it has that little handle. I don't know where the rest of it went to. Oh, here it is. It has a little handle for a tap and die set. There's actually a spring in there and a check ball, but it's supposed to go like that. And you put your tap in there where you can, thread holes. But it's got this little thing that tightens up. So what I'm gonna do, well, what I did, I cut off the end of it, and it fits in my drill perfect, I think. Then try that. Yeah, that'll fit down on the drill. The problem with that is, I think it's too short. I didn't think that through all. This drill's had it. Yeah, it worked. So I'm gonna put some lapping compound. See, we got the fine stuff, and we got the coarse. We're gonna go with the fine. Put it on the back side of the valve. Stick it through like that. Hopefully. The problem is going to be I'm going to have to tighten that up with some I think I got it. Let's see, can we? I knew it was going to spin it off of there. I don't think we have to lap it that much. It just had a little piece of metal that was sticking out from when that thing stuck the valve, that little other piece of metal. Plus it don't help that everything's covered in oil. Ah, I went the wrong dang way. Thing's kind of wonky. Drill seen better days. That's gonna throw me off. Alright, let's try this again. Watch it, guy, come on backwards. Never tighten up. Alright, let's take all this off, see what we've done. Oh, I don't think I can get it off of there now. Now I can't get the stupid thing off of the valve. Put it too tight. Ah! I got it on there so tight now I can't get it off. Now we just need to clean all this up. Clean all the gunk off of it. You can see on the valve, see that shiny mark all the way around? That's how you know it's cut that seat. Okay, stick the valve back in there, and what I'm gonna do is shine a light up under the valve. I'm gonna pull up on it as tight as I can get it, because that spring is gonna have it tight. And I'm gonna shine a light on the back side of the valve, and if it's not seated any kind of way, you'll see light. So I'm gonna turn the light off. Let's turn the light off so I can get a good look at it. I could have put the valve spring on, but looking too much like right. So far, See a little light in there. I don't know if I'm pulling up on it all the way. Yeah, I see a little light. I think it's where that little piece of metal is. I mean the head where that valve, where that piece of metal got in there between the valve. I think that's what's causing it not to seat. Let me do it again. I might go with some let's see, we did fine. Let's go with the coarse this time. Maybe we need to put some better. I was hoping that would have fixed it and I won't have to redo all this again. I mean to throw this drill in the garbage can. So I can't give it much force because it wants to slide off the valve. I'm gonna have to think of something else. This is just not. This is just not gonna cut it here. Go get my other drill. This drill stripped. There's a lot of grease on that valve stem too, and that's causing it not to stay clamped on there. It's my last time trying this. We'll go with something else. I can never get it locked on there tight enough. I think it just was spinning the drill. No? It was cutting it. If this will stay on the drill, I'm gonna go get my other drill. That's my problem. I can't get a good. But I don't want to mess up the stem. Let's see what that does. We cut it quite a bit. Oh yeah, it cut it quite a bit then. I can see the difference. Yeah, I can see the difference. Okay, let's put the valve back in here. It's such a small part to work with. Cut some of these lights off. This should do it here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go all the way dark. Oh yeah. I don't see any light. I don't see any light. Even if it was just a little off, by the time that valve gets to smashing into the seat, if it's a little bit not seated, it'll smooth out, because that thing slams like that. But I didn't see any light though. I think we got it cut fairly good. So I am going to try and make a gasket for the valve cover and this side cover, cam cover here, and I'm gonna do that. But first we need to get the valve. Let's get the valve spring back on. Let's make sure that valve is gonna, the spring is gonna close it all the way up too while I'm thinking about it. Let me clean some of this gunk out. Need to make sure that make sure that valve spring, which it should go right back on there anyway. Get the valve spring. Should we use the valve spring that came off that valve, off the other engine, or use the one that's supposed to be on this head? I say we use this one. The problem going to be is compressing that back down to get those keepers in there, because I don't have. Let's see, do I got a valve spring compressor? I know I do. Where is it? Got a valve spring compressor here somewhere. It might be too big. Put it up somewhere, I can't find it. Where's my valve spring compressor? But I think it's gonna be too big. Here it is. No. Well, maybe we can reverse it, put a socket up under it. No, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to press this down so I can get that spring back in there. I mean, get the keepers. If I had my socket, got a socket that's cut. Made just for took a 5/8 socket, cut a slot in it. So we just need to compress that down and get the keepers in there. We probably can use just a C-clamp. Just got to hold up on that valve. So all we need to do is hold up on that valve. Dang it. I gotta run this back out. So. Be better if the head was in the vise. Ah! I had it. I had it. That's when you need an assistant. I can't see nothing in there. Oh, this is gonna suck. Why would they make a freaking hole where you can't get nothing pressed down on it? What if we flip it around that way? I'm gonna have to put it in the vise probably. So I'm trying to hold the head and tighten it up. Yeah, let me get it in the vise. I'll move y'all over here in a minute. Can't do 3 things with 2 hands. All right. How about that? Oh! Let's drop the camera. Small place to work. Alright, so now with that like that, I should be able to get against that valve like that. Well, actually I need it to go this way. I'm waiting for it. Just gotta get it tight enough. This is not working. Sorry guys. It's hard when you're working by yourself. It's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to think of something to hold that valve. That's the only. Got an even bigger C-clamp. Man, this thing is dirty. I have to get somebody to turn it down while I hold it, because I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get somebody to turn that in. I can't do it by myself. So anyway, you get what I'm doing. I gotta press that back down. Let me see, can I get an assistant? Alright, so I was able to get that to stay like that. Let me get the keepers. And a magnet. If I can find my magnet. These little things is not easy to work with. I'm used to working with bigger motorcycle heads, car heads, stuff like that. Stuff like this though, teeny tiny. Oh, I got stuff everywhere. Don't you hate it when your screwdrivers are magnetic and you don't want them to be magnetic? That's exactly what I just ran into. The freaking screwdriver is magnetic. I'm just gonna wing it. Hopefully they'll fall into place. Nope. Come on. This doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna have a plastic screwdriver. Maybe we gotta use the ones. Well, it's too late for that now. I think they're the same. Yeah, they're the same. My problem is getting it where it's gonna stay around the doggone valve. See, can I find something that's not magnetic? That one's in for sure. Ah, it wants to go upside down. Oh, you critter. This is ridiculous. I just can't get the keeper to slide around there right. It goes in, but then it flips back out. I know what it is. I need to press down some more. This is gonna suck. Well, actually, I'm down as far as I can go. I can't go any further. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. Cannot get the keeper back in there. I'm gonna have to try and get it straighter. Try it one more time. I didn't think it was going to be this much of a big deal. Yeah. That sucker just will not stay on there. Try something. What it is, the top of that valve is so small. You're probably gonna have to get a smaller socket and cut a slot in it, because let me push that bastard all the way down in there this time. Got some construction going on outside. They're working on the streets. And somebody's cutting the grass. There's all kind of stuff going on outside today. Noisy. You know how it is, if you do YouTube videos, they don't get noisy until you're videoing. See, I can't get that other one in there. Soon as you get busy videoing, it gets noisy as hell out there. I think we got it this time. One of them is not catching. Is it upside down? No, it ain't upside down. You might have to use those other ones. I can't even get it out of there. There it is. Let's try the other ones. Playing limbo over here. Had it in there. One of them was sitting in there and the other one popped out. Problem is, it's not sitting in there flush. I don't know how I'm gonna get them in there. I really don't. I still don't understand it. Ooh. Bumped the doggone thing. man. 5-minute job turned to a 10-minute job. I don't know why it won't catch that other one. It won't catch the other side of that. With that, dog it. Oh, I give up. I don't know what's going on. I can't get it to catch the side of that valve. Hopefully I didn't wear out the end of the stem. Alright, finally, after sweating and cussing and fighting, I finally got that valve in there. It's in there. I checked it. It's seated. So now it's just time to put the motor back together. We can put the rocker back in. I might have to readjust the valves anyway, because I had took them loose when I thought maybe they were too tight. I thought I wasn't gonna never get that valve spring and stuff back together. Yeah, I'm gonna have to readjust that. No biggie, I can readjust the valves. So it's in there. So like I said, let me make some gaskets and stuff, and we'll get it together and see if this thing fire up. Hopefully it does. I think it will. Head's back on. I got it in time. I'm gonna try and do a compression test with it sitting here hooked to the starter, and let's see what kind of compression we get before we even put it back in the bike. I gotta find a spark plug adapter. Hopefully she got good compression. We can move on with putting the motor back in it, and fire this dude up. Get that in there nice and tight. Got the old compression gauge. Get the battery boost pack. Guess we can ground it off the starter housing, I guess. And I'm gonna try and hold this thing where y'all can see it. I'll put it somewhere. You can see it right there. It's probably gonna jump around. Sure. Okay, here goes nothing. Did it build up? We only got like 60 psi. Better than what we had before, but it ain't what I was looking for. We only got 60. Why we only got... And those are not loose. Why we got low compression? Could the rings be messed up? I didn't see any scarring in the cylinder unless the rings are stuck. Do we have to have the rocker caps on it? Maybe. Let's put the rocker caps back on. I wouldn't think it'd be a let's see where that tab goes. Let's close the motor up. I wouldn't think that'd be a problem, but it could be. Alright, let's try it now. That's all we got. It's not good. Unless something's wrong with this hose. Let's try. I have had my the hose. I think one of the check valves inside of the hose is no good. It's gonna be hard for me to hold it. That's gonna be kind of hard to hold there. Hold it and do the compression test. So I have to hold it in the head like that. I don't know if you guys can see it. Nope. What about there? I'm gonna try and hold this and hold it on the starter at the same time. There we go. Got a little bit more, but I can't hold it tight. I'm gonna try and hold it tight in the cylinder. We got 65-ish, 75. I believe it's gonna run. I mean, it's kind of a low number, but I can't get a good hold on the compression gauge. I got another hose. I'm gonna try it. The rings could be stuck from it sitting. We at least need 90. Alright. Got another hose here. There's something going on with these compression gauges because now it's not reading. How's we getting 60? Think we can make it run? Off of 60 psi? I wonder how much compression did these motors have. 60 might be good. I always thought 90. We could put some oil down in the cylinder. Let's see what we got. We got some oil we can put in there. What about PB Blaster? Oh, that might work. It won't hurt it. Spray out of the intake. Okay. I have seen rings stick like that. Contact. Going up to 90. I bet you the rings are a little stuck. Went up to 90 then. I believe it'll run. I think the rings are probably a little stuck. I put some PB Blaster in there, so that probably will help free them up. I think it'll run. What you guys think? This thing sat out in the weather for a long time. Let's try. Let's just try the hose. I mean, without the hose. I had some way to keep this motor from sliding. It's trying to come up. I believe it'll run. So what I'll do, get the bike back in here. We'll put it on there. Put some oil back in the motor and hook everything up and hope for the best. I think once we get to whirling over, get some oil and stuff going in it, I think it's gonna run. We had nothing at first. Let's see something. Yeah, it's got something, so we're gonna call it a win for now. Let me get some things together and we'll get it back in the bike. I think I gotta get some oil. I don't have any, and we'll see what to do. That's all we can go off. So the engine is back in, and we got oil in it. So the next thing I need to do is clean the carburetor, because I pretty much know it's going to be dirty because it had water in the gas tank. So I'm going to go ahead and get the carburetor clean, and we'll put it back on there. And I'm trying to clean out the gas tank, put some pebbles in it and swish it around, get some of that rust out. Maybe we can run the original gas tank. So let's get everything set up here. And we will see what's in this gas tank. I mean, not gas tank. Carburetor. Vent hose, do not touch. Yeah. What? This carburetor is riveted. Look at that. And they don't even have screws. They made this carburetor where you can't even get in it. It's got security screws on it. So basically you have to grind these off, and then, is that the gasket? Yeah. And then you can get in the bowl, then you got to replace the screws. That is crazy. I've seen it all. You think we ought to try and run it? Because then I will have to grind these out. I tell you what, let's take the drain screw out. Maybe that'll give us a good idea of what the inside of the carburetor looks. Oh, that's right, we already did that. I say we just put it on there and run it then. I didn't know you have to grind these screws out. This is stupid. They want you to just toss it, I guess, like the four-wheeler, buy another one. We probably can take them loose with some, let's see, maybe we can use these if this don't work. I really don't want to go grinding on this thing. No, this ain't gonna work. Probably can take a sharp flat punch and make like some flathead indentions in it. Oh, I got that one to turn. I at least want to see what's in it. What you think? I hate to put it on there and then have to take it back off. We can get these screws loose. I thought I had to turn. We get them loose, I'll just replace them with some more. I've never seen nothing like that before. So anyway, that's one screw. Something just telling me to go ahead and It's always got to be one, huh? I'm gonna have to get a little small chisel. I think I might have got turned. Why would they do this? I've never seen a carburetor like this before. How did they even get them in there? And that tight. Let's put it in the old vise. This is ridiculous. Guess you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right. Go ahead and break the carburetor down. See what's up with it before you put it on there. I see some chalky stuff flaking out. Dust. Probably wondering why I didn't take the intake off. Ah, look at there. Look at that. That's what's left of the gas. It's like powder. So luckily we did take it apart. So I'm gonna give it a quick blow through, find some more screws for the bowl, and we'll get it on there. I gotta go down and get some gas. Alright, carburetor's on. I had to dig and find some screws to go in the carburetor bowl. So we got that straight, got the carburetor back on there. I put some gravel in this gas tank, took it outside with some carb cleaner and swished it around, got some of the rust out. Got a brand new fuel filter for it, and went down and got some gas. So now all we got to do is put this gas tank on. Hook up the fuel line. And pray that this thing runs. I think it's gotta be how it goes. Sits on top of the frame like that with some bolts. We get a couple bolts stick in the gas tank so it won't fly around. should be hopefully ready to fire this little baby up. See how it's gonna run, if it's gonna run at all. I think it will. It's got some compression, but I think once it runs and those valves seat back in, the rings free up a little bit, because this thing's been sitting, it's been sitting for a couple years out in the weather. So now I just gotta hook up the fuel line. Now this thing don't have a, it don't have a throttle, I mean not a throttle, but an idle screw. This is the cheapest carburetor I've ever seen before. So I'm gonna put a tad of gas in there and make sure it's still coming out of this fuel line before I put the fuel line on there. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, it's stuck. Now we're gonna have a fire. Well, just clean the motor off anyway. We can also see if the carburetor is gonna start leaking, because the needle was a little janky. Let me blow some of that gas off of there. Fuel line's leaking a little bit. I have to put a clamp on there. I don't know why they didn't put a on and off switch on that gas tank. They really went cheap with this one. I've seen some better. But we are pouring gas out. Oh man, it is just... It is just pouring gas. Let me clamp that line off. I think that hose has got a crack in it or something. Is the carburetor leaking? The fuel line. There's the fuel line leaking. Yep. Man, this sucks. All the gas gonna be on the floor because they don't have a petcock. I'm gonna have to cut that fuel line a little bit. Ah, gas everywhere. Why did they not put a shutoff valve on there? I don't understand that. Have to block this fuel line off somehow. Man, it is full stream ahead on that field. Let me cut that off. Hate for your kids to be riding and catching on fire. That would suck. I think we got it. I hope so. I hate the smell of gas. Okay, I think we got that situated. Woo, that gas is strong. Alrighty, let's get the jumper box hooked up. Make sure we won't have any more gas leaks. Put a little bit more gas in it. We probably lost a gallon. And I gotta rig my button back up. So far the carburetor ain't leaking, so meaning like the needle with the floats. When I was at the scooter store, I forgot to look for a toggle, not a toggle, but a lanyard. They probably got one. Or we could just tie the wires together and bypass it. Alright. Put the gas cap on. Crack the door a little bit so the smoke won't kill us. Alright. Let's see what she does. I don't have the chain on yet. Why did I hook the positive of the battery and it's no good anymore? I don't have the chain on because I wasn't ready to put it on. So we just want to see if it's going to run. These cables are, I have to ground it to the motor somewhere. somebody's outside. Must be next door. Sorry. Anyway, it's always distractions. Alright, let's see what she does. And neutral lights on. We're starting. Why ain't we starting? Huh. What's wrong? Neutral lights on. Our toggle is hooked up. For some reason we ain't turning over now. Ground, because we didn't have ground. Start. Oh. I guess we gotta pull the clutch in. Do we still have fire? That gas is so strong. Man, that gas is strong. Let's check to see if we still got fire. For some reason we ain't got fire now. I don't know why. Something's unplugged somewhere. We had fire at first. All thing I did was hook this green wire up. Hook it to see. Okay, that green wire is a kill wire. Alright, contact. Nothing. That little baby purrs like a kitten. I know one of the headlights don't work because the wire's off of it. Just listen to that. That's all it was a bent valve. And we put the exhaust valve in the intake valve slot on the head and it runs. not doing it. We got a headlight out. This wire is broke off of the bulb right here. Just listen to that. Wow. Get you some of that. It's not even smoking it. Drop. See where to restart. Now, all we need to do now is put the chain on it, the air box, tighten the plastic back up. I might try and fix that headlight that's out, and seat on it. See, will it even ride? Should. That little thing sounds good. Well, I'm going to get to work putting all the other stuff on it. Get all the plastics, I said, like bolt it down, and she will go. Got new parts for the little four-wheeler finally. We got a Mighty Max battery, little Amazon battery. I've used these before in different motorcycles, and they're pretty good battery. They're the gel cell batteries, and I like them. And we got this the toggle tether switch, which to replace this one. This is the only way you can buy it. With the tether. We could just use the tether off of this one under here without replacing the whole switch, but we'll see how that goes. Who's it made by? Blue Star, another Amazon product. So anyway, got the gel cell battery. And of course, I got the new plugs to go on the side cover. This one up here was actually plastic, but I ordered these off of Amazon too, because they had lost the one that goes in the side cover here for the stator. So that's pretty cool, chrome and black. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the battery in it, get the Blue Star tether hooked up, get all the plastics in the seat back on. And this thing ought to be ready to rip. I also fixed the headlight too. So it'll be ready to rip, tag chip. Let's do it. It's only got one gear, that's forward and reverse. Well, two gears, forward and reverse. All the way down twice and forward. No, all the way down twice and forward. Push the pedal all the way back. Oh. Push the pedal all the way back and forward. All the way down forward. Only if it was a 250. If it was a 250, I think it'd be better. Well, it runs. It's not like a 250 like I said. It's more like a 50. But it's good for a little kid or something to get out and play on. But it definitely don't have any real good top end speed. But at least it's back up and running. The tail light, it's got a short in it. It'll work 1 minute and 1 minute it won't. But other than that, it's a cool little kid's toy. I mean, it'll get up to speed probably with somebody lighter than me on it, but it's nothing like a Honda or Yamaha or Suzuki. But fun kid's yard cart or yard four-wheeler. So I'm going to head back, get some more gas in it, and we'll take one more gander at it, make sure it don't have any oil leaks or nothing, and I guess send it on to some happy little kid. Plug it. Well, it runs, it shifts, and this ain't got enough power for me, but it'll do good for a small child. I'm a little bit too heavy for it, but hey, it's got pretty good top end power, but it sounds like it's gonna blow up if you hold it wide open going down the street. So it's really made for just riding in like a yard or something. But the little thing does run pretty good though. So we saved it. That's a good deal again, and it'll live on to make some person happy. Could be a pit bike or something, or it could be a kid's dream four-wheeler from the beginning. But the rear tail light don't work. The wires are shorted, so it's going to need a new tail light. The wires are broke off inside of the bulb housing, but headlights work. That's a good thing. So we are going to take it back and let someone get it. I got somebody that wants it. If they don't want it, we'll do something with it. And if not, we'll just keep it for a neighborhood cruiser or maybe a car show cruiser. Get it out, ride around a car show or something, or swap meet. We'll do something with it. Or I might do a giveaway later on. I'm not sure. But if y'all like these types of videos, give it a big fat thumbs up. And I'm just noticing the solenoid popped out of the spot. Solenoid popped out of the little holder. So give this video a thumbs up, a like, still share it if it's worth sharing. And leave some comments and just stay tuned to the channel. We got some more stuff coming up. Like I said, I know this is not like a Yamaha or a Suzuki or Honda or nothing like that, but just something that I just got and I wanted to rescue it and see if we can bring it back to life. And we found out just that bent valve. So anyway, y'all have a good rest of your week and weekend coming up. And I'll holler at y'all next time. Check out the first channel, RPM Auto, because we got some videos on there, car stuff. And there's some motorcycle stuff on there too. You can check out some older videos. So anyway, we'll holler at y'all later. Peace.